What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Savage Land. Welcome to another episode of Palette Picks. And today on Palette Picks, we want to talk about NECA's Strongheart from the Dungeons and Dragon line. Now, I just did a top 10 of 2023. And I specifically said on there that I have no NECA figures. And I've rarely bought any NECA figures except for the Gargoyles, and I opened them up a little too late to be in the top 10. And I watched somebody else's top 10, I believe it may have been Dorklair, and he had this figure up there, and a couple other people did. Granted, if I would have got this figure, it probably would have been in that top 10 or top 20 that I did, because NECA usually can make a strong standing and also catch you off guard. And when I seen this figure, it definitely caught me off guard. So this review right here is to shed some more light on this figure. Me, I'm not a person that's in the Dungeons and Dragons. I personally never played the game in my entire life. It's almost kind of before my time. Dungeons and Dragons to me just always reminds me of like some early 80s, mid 80s board game type action. But it's been around forever. It's still going strong, but I never fell into it. Now, as far as all the other lines, as far as Hasbro and what looks like Super 7 is coming out, this still doesn't interest me. The only thing I have from the Dungeons and Dragons line is the Owlbear from Hasbro, and I got it off Amazon during Christmas during the sales for like 13 bucks. Decent figure, but I would never pay the 45 that they're asking for it. I just don't think it's enough meat on the bone. It's big enough. It's just this figure right here at 35 packs a lot more punch than that Owlbear. But let's get into Strongheart. I guess he's like a knight in the Dungeons and Dragons lore. Everybody, of course, knows that's like a medieval type setting. And what NECA did with this figure is just amazing. First of all, from head to toe, great sculpt. Looks like he has some type of feathered piece at the top, which has great sculpting, great shading on it. As far as his knight's helmet, as you can see the sculpt in the wings that come off the top like Thor. And then, of course, with NECA, they always give an articulated jaw or some type of movable piece if you got a helmet, and this guy is the same. To me, he looks a lot more sinister with the helmet piece down, but with the helmet piece up, looks like Bob, who works at your local Home Depot. I think he probably would have been more knight-like if he had a clean-shaven face, but once again, I don't know this character. This character obviously has a Magnum PI mustache, so that's what they went with. But face sculpt still looks good for what it is, man. Like I said, this is the best Dungeons and Dragon figure that I've ever seen, or actually put my hands on. But you can see like the armor, like the silver paint. This is the silver paint that people from Marvel Legends scream that they want. This paint with shading that NECA is giving his knight figures, and you can see with the armor, the chain metal, and it just looks really good. Look at the insignia when he comes back around on the chest, the sculpt on that. I believe that's a lion going up. Yeah, I mean, it just looks great. It looks great, man. I mean, this figure is definitely shelf presence. Going down, you can see he has sculpt on the mid-torso. He has a ball at the waist, and looks like he has a ball in the abdominal. Don't get too much movement, and that's the thing with NECA. They're not known really for articulation, but he will move, but he's not going to get down like that. Both of those pieces move, but of course, if they had cuts like that, it's supposed to work really good, and it's always limited with NECA. As you can see down here to the mid section here, he has a nice sculpt on the belt. Cape looks good as well. Also, his dressing down at the bottom, the paint, the blues, the silvers. I mean, it just looks amazing, man. I mean, this is a great toy. This is damn sure worth $35. Going back down to the chain metal, to the knees. Look at the kneecaps. I didn't notice that till like a day after I had it. The kneecaps actually has like a knight's helmet, almost kind of like what he has on with the frailed out feathers, almost kind of like a Thor headdress, man. And it's so much sculpt in here. The blue shading, the wash on the boots. I mean, that looks awesome. And it looks like he has no problem standing. I have his foot cocked a little bit, but I just basically, just plopped them up here. But even with his foot cocked going around on the turntable, as you can see, he's not falling or anything like that. His cape has a wire in it. The most subtle wire I ever seen, though. It's definitely not like Mayfax. It will not support itself up in the air, but you can bend it and let it flow in the wind like I got here. Like, that's fixed in that position right there. So has a small wire in it, but does have a wired cape. The cape looks beautiful. The royal blue is I call it regal blue. It just gives a real regal feeling. Even not looking at it through the camera here, the cape is shining, man. And they just did an awesome job on this thing, man. This thing looks great. I'm glad I picked this up. I actually got this from Big Nerdy from Nerdzoic. So far as his accessories, as you can see, he has the golden like sledgehammer in his hand that looks like it will give you a pounding on the battlefield and bust through some armor. The shield looks good. Now, I don't know if you can see through there. That is the only thing I hate about NECA. They can be delicate. I didn't do anything and broke one of the straps. If you look through the cape there, one of the straps is hanging. The glue just came off. All I did was put the arm through there and didn't do anything. I didn't notice it till I picked it back up. Like, damn, the strap is broke, so I'm gonna have to glue that back. But NECA can be really delicate with stuff like that, man. But as far as his shield, I mean, the deco on it, the paint, the blues, the silvers, once again, looks great. And behind it, it has wood paneling. I mean, that looks freaking magnificent, man. That's really going the extra mile on a shield when you put the wood paneling behind it there. And as you can see, I mean, that just looks, look at that. Look like it's handcrafted. And you see the strap broke. I didn't do anything to it but put the arm through there and it broke on me. But you know, that's what you get when you deal with NECA. As far as his other accessories, you can see he has his broadsword here. Broadsword has some nice silver paint on it. Looks really amazing. And then with his sheath here, look all the sculpt on that sheath. I mean, this thing looks really good. And if you look on there, he has a small knife that he comes with that goes in the sheath on the sword too. So he's just like a real knight. Look at the like little holster you can put the sword in, just like something from those times. Yep, so with the gripping hands, he also has two different sets of gripping hands. One is a little bit smaller gripping, so he can grip the skinnier sword. Then he has a little bit set of gripping hands that are set wider. One thing I will say about this, you have to be careful with this figure as far as the glue-ons. I just had a situation where the end of my damn sword just broke off. Okay, as you can see here, he doesn't have the ball at the end of the sword because I was trying to put it in the slimmer hands and it just broke straight off on me, man. So that's no bueno as he falls over. You see that ball there? So you got to be careful with this, like stuff like this this satchel latch and things like that, that if he's breaking up like that, then something tells me that they got a problem with the glue on here. Still a magnificent looking figure. Yeah, just go ahead and just lay on your face because I'm mad now. But the little attachments and stuff on there, just be careful with that. So yeah, strong heart. As far as articulation, like I said, typical NECA articulation. Arms, looks like they're double jointed, but you can't really move too much with them. The most they probably get is about a 90-degree angle. They're definitely not going to bend all the way back to his head. As far as his legs, double jointed at the knees. Of course, they don't bend back super hard, but he doesn't have a thigh cut. He has a boot cut that's kind of hidden in there. It actually doesn't cut at the boot. It cuts a little bit, but no, below the knee, where those two kind of like kneecap guards are. Crazy thing about it, his kneecaps are really low. That's the only thing I would say aesthetically, but he looks so good. That really doesn't bother me. That's just something like minor. But his kneecaps look really low, man. Like they should be up higher. Like the proportions on it looks a little bit off on him, man. But ankle rocker, hinge goes back and forth. Like I said, as far as articulation with NECA, man, you're really not gonna get too much. As far as his hands, he comes with 4 different sets of hands. 3 on the side and the two that you see on him. He has 2 fists, 2 gripping hand, 2 sprawled out hands, and then he also has another set of gripping hands, man. So this is an action figure that comes with plating. It looks good. If you're on the fence about this or didn't know about this, get this. I'm not into Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not into goblins, ghouls, or anything like that, but every now and then something takes me by surprise, man. I'm glad I looked at the top 10s. That's the most beautiful thing, so you can see people's top 10s throughout the year and see what everybody else was doing, man. And that's how I end up getting this. Like I said, I watched Dork Lair or somebody, and they had this on there, and it didn't upset, man. It definitely came through. This is no frill right here. So Strongheart from NECA, about 35 bucks. Actually, I don't think I ever seen him in the store. And the thing about it, I can't really say because I was never really checking for him. But I know I got him from Nerdzoic, and I'm pretty sure he's online. So if you're thinking about him, hey, go and give him a go. He's got plenty of paint, plenty of sculpt, plenty of accessories. I mean, this is an action figure right here. This guy looks really good, and he even looks better. With the helmet piece down, gives him a more sinister look. Wired cape. I mean, this is a domestic figure, and it's hitting just like an import. So Strongheart from NECA Dungeons and Dragons line. This is the Savage Land. We do this for the love and beauty of action figures. Beautiful NECA painted up action figures that are so delicate that you don't do anything and you break a strap on them from glue coming undone. But with that being said, give me a like, comment, subscribe. If you can, hit me up on my Instagram at Geppetto910. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless.